Alright, what is going on, everybody? So in this video we're going to be discussing how to become unrecognizable in 30 days, how to be high status, a practical guide to presence, confidence, and influence. So basically how to go from being a nobody to a somebody. High status is not about being loud, being arrogant, or flexing money. It is the quiet assumption people make, usually in the first few seconds, that you are competent, safe, valuable, and hard to push around. Once people read you as high status, life gets simpler. You get more respect, more benefit of the doubt, better cooperation, and more opportunities. You don't have to chase as much, you lead more. Status is learnable because it is a system of signals, posture, voice, eye contact, pace, standards, and how you respond under pressure. Change the signals consistently, and people change the label. The goal here is simple. Raise your internal set point and make the high status signals automatic, so you don't have to fake confidence, you just become it. The invisible foundation. This is the part almost nobody talks about. Status is a set point. If you don't change the set point, you can study tactics forever and still snap back to the old you. The thermostat. Most people have an invisible set point or a thermostat for what they're allowed to have. Respect, attention, money, love, leadership. When they raise above that set point, they unconsciously do something to get back down, over-explaining, apologizing, people-pleasing, shrinking, or choosing the wrong people. Mechanics. A thermostat works through a feedback loop. It measures the gap between what is and what should be, then corrects. Humans do the same thing with identity. If you see yourself as low status, your behavior will keep correcting back towards that identity. This loop runs in the background. That's why willpower alone rarely works long-term. You can override habits temporarily, but identity pulls you back when you get tired or stressed. Invisible. Because it's constant, it feels like reality. People say, "That's just how I am," when it's really a programmed set point they've rehearsed for years, or a habit, persistent. If you want lasting change, you don't just add tactics, you raise the set point, you teach your nervous system that higher standards are normal. Why signals work. Signals create feedback loop too. You change behavior, people respond differently. Their response becomes evidence, and evidence updates identity. The upgrade strategy. Act your way into a new self-image. Do the behaviors of a high-status person long enough, and that will feel normal. When behavior becomes normal, identity updates. When identity updates, your results follow. Quick reference. The high-status signal checklist. If you forget everything else, remember this. High status is what you signal when nothing is going your way. Use this checklist before any meeting, date, interview, or social setting, or pretty much anything important. Body, open posture, grounded feet, slow movements, still head, relaxed face, no fidgeting. Voice, breathe slow, speak slightly slower, and key sentences with a firm downward tone. Eyes, hold eye contact, soften the eyes, and don't flinch at distractions. Be comfortable in silence. Frame, don't over-explain, don't chase approval, lead with standards and calm certainty. State, non-reactive, interpretations under control, calm energy you bring into the room. Alright, here's part 1, becoming high status. High status is the message people get from your signals. People don't decide your status logically, they feel it instantly, then justify it later. Here's the signal stack, which is identity, self-image, state, emotion plus energy, behavior, signals, outcomes, people respond. Honest versus false signals. High status comes from honest signals, things that are hard to fake consistently. Calm under pressure, strong boundaries, controlled movement, and real competence. Flashy material signals can help, but they can't carry weak fundamentals. The subconscious level. When someone meets you, their brain quickly answers, "Are you safe?" And "Where do you rank relative to me?" status-wise. That label shapes everything that happens next. Self-judgment is contagious. The world tends to accept the judgment you put on yourself. If you signal, "I'm not sure where I belong," people pick it up. If you signal, "I belong," they usually just follow that lead. Signals are a package. Status is not one thing, it is the combined effect of tonality, eye contact, posture, pace, grooming, and your emotional steadiness. Act first, think later. It's easier to act your way into a new way of thinking. When you behave higher status, people respond differently. Their response becomes evidence. Evidence updates belief. Consistency across rooms. Real status is being the same person in every room, calm in chaos, relaxed in silence, and unshaken by other people's moods. Neediness is the tell. Neediness leaks through everything: over text, over explaining, nervous laughter, constantly seeking reassurance. The fastest upgrade is becoming comfortable, not being liked by everyone. Standards create status. High status is standards, or boundaries. It's what you will and won't tolerate. When you enforce standards calmly, people feel it immediately. Part 2. High status destiny. Carefreeness and confidence become real when you're pulled forward by a purpose bigger than people's opinions. Destiny mindset. High status isn't just posture, it's direction. When you genuinely believe you're building something important, you naturally stop chasing small validations. Enough is enough. A turning point happens when you decide you're done being the old version of you. Not with anger, more like clarity. From that moment, you stop negotiating with your past. Purpose creates focus. A real goal acts like gravity. It gives you a reason to move with purpose, speak with certainty, and say no to distractions. Consistent effort. High performers aren't frantic, they're consistent. They take action daily, even when motivation is low. Calm discipline is a status signal. High standards. Destiny isn't a fantasy, it's a standard. You decide what you're willing to tolerate and what you're not. Then you live like your standard is real. Identity-based goals. Instead of obsessing over outcomes, focus on who you are becoming. A high-status person keeps promises to themselves, trains skills, and lives by standards or discipline. Daily questions. Ask, what am I building, and what does the person who builds that do today? Answering these questions removes confusion. 3. High-status body language. Your body talks before you open your mouth. In most rooms, your body language makes your argument for you or against you. OGSP, body language model. Open, space plus relaxed joints. Grounded, stillness plus presence. Slow, controlled pacing. Priding, quiet self-respect. Universal language. Body language is cross-cultural. People might not agree on words, but they read comfort, tension, fear, and dominance the same way. Comfort first. High-value people get comfortable first. They take up space naturally, like they belong. Low-status people ask permission, with tight, small posture. Still head. A still head signals control. Excess movement reads like scanning for danger or approval. Calm eyes plus still head equals authority. Wall behind you. When possible, position yourself with a wall behind you and the room in front. It signals safety and control. Hands in your space. Gesture slowly and inside your personal frame. Big, fast gestures outside your personal space can look reactive. Controlled hands look deliberate. The no fidget rule. Fidgeting screams nervousness. Tapping, rubbing, cracking knuckles, adjusting clothes repeatedly, touching your face. High status is stillness, unaffected by environment. Hot, cold, crowded, loud, none of it moves you. You don't constantly adjust or react. Stable body equals stable status. Feet angle. When talking, you can angle one foot slightly outward. It subtly signals you have options and places to be, which reduces neediness. Lean back principle. If you're in conversation, let your body stay relaxed. Leaning back slightly invites the other person to lean in. It signals comfort, being the prize. I usually say, when in doubt, lean out. OGSP checklist. Use OGSP as a fast body language system. Open, grounded, slow, priding. If you do these 4 things, you'll instantly look higher status. Open. Keep distance between right and left joints. Shoulders relaxed. Arms not glued to your sides. Legs not tightly crossed. Closed posture protects organs. Open posture signals safety and confidence. Grounded. Plant your feet. Let your weight settle. Don't bounce, hover, or drift. Grounded people look like they have time and options. Slow. Move like you own the movement. Speed often comes from anxiety. Slow movement signals certainty and control. Priding. Quiet pride is not arrogance. It's self-respect. You allow yourself to be seen without trying to impress anyone. Practice. 2 minutes. Stand up, plant both feet, relax your jaw, drop your shoulders, keep your head still for 20 seconds. Then speak one sentence with slow gesture inside your frame. Finish by rehearsing OGSP, open joints, grounded feet, slow movements, quiet pride. 4. High status voice. Your voice is a status signal because it reveals certainty, nervous system control, and how much you need approval. You can usually spot this anytime you're talking to somebody or if you notice somebody who has a very high-pitched, nasally voice. Those people always seem very annoying and usually don't command a lot of respect. Rapport versus authority. Upward inflection and question voice often signal approval seeking. Neutral delivery signals equality. Downward inflection, used sparingly, signals authority and finality. Neutral is home base. Most of the time, speak neutrally. Calm, grounded, clear. You can add warmth or firmness from a neutral base without sounding fake. So basically, never have an upward inflection, as it sounds very weak. Authoritative. An authoritative voice is decisive. It doesn't sound like it's asking. It uses statements more than questions and doesn't rush the last words. Clear. Clarity beats cleverness. Slow down enough that every word lands. Enunciate. If people can't understand you, status drops instantly. Unaffected. Don't let the other person drag your tone around. Keep your chosen tone even if they are emotional, sarcastic, or overly excited. Interesting on purpose. Unaffected doesn't mean monotone. Add variation deliberately. Pause before key points. Drop tone for seriousness. Slightly raise volume for conviction. Break rapport occasionally. Breaking rapport is a controlled shift. Less smile, more stillness, a firmer tone. Use it to reset dynamics when somebody tests you. Breath is the fuel. Take lower breaths. If you speak on empty air, your voice becomes thin and anxious. Strong voice starts with air. Practice speaking about 20% louder while staying calm. Quiet voice often signals fear of being judged. Training drills. Read out loud for pacing, record yourself for tone, practice tongue twisters for clarity, and rehearse pauses until silence feels comfortable. 60-second practice, read any paragraph out loud, breathe low, speak 10% slower, end the last word of each sentence with a calm, downward finish. Add one deliberate pause before your strongest sentence. High-status eye contact. Eye contact communicates two things at once, where your attention is and how comfortable you are inside tension. Attention is value. Whatever is abundant is cheap. If your attention is instantly available, people unconsciously value you less. High-status attention is selective and deliberate. Tension tolerance. Many people break eye contact because tension rises. High-status people can hold eye contact while staying relaxed, which signals extreme control. Deep but relaxed. The goal isn't staring. It's steady presence, soft face, calm breathing, and a look that says, I'm here. The 80-60 rhythm. When you're speaking, hold eye contact most of the time. When they're speaking, break it a little bit more. It subtly communicates that your attention is valuable. Don't flinch. When distractions happen, keep attention where you want it. Reactivity lowers status. Soft eyes. Soft eyes means you look through someone, not at them. It reduces aggressive tension while keeping authority. Recognize and return. Pick a fixed point and hold focus while distractions happen. When your attention drifts, mentally say, recognize and return, then come back without judgment. Cold exposure drill. Cold water creates instant tension. Practice slow breathing and relaxed face while the discomfort spikes. You're training calm inside tension. Conversation drill. Hold eye contact one extra beat longer than you normally would, then look away slowly. That slow break reads confidence. 60-second practice. Pick a fixed point at eye level. Soften your eyes. Breathe slow. If your attention drifts, mentally say, recognize and return, and come back. You're training focus inside discomfort. 6. High status walk. Your walk is a moving status statement. Before you speak, people decide whether you look like someone with purpose. Tall and open. Posture up, shoulders back, chest open. You don't shrink to make other people comfortable. You stay relaxed and upright. Purposeful. Walk like you have a destination. Wandering or pacing reads like nervous energy. Purpose creates instant authority. Smooth and controlled. Keep your own tempo. Don't jerk around other people's movements. Unaffected pacing reads like confidence. Casually sexy. A hint of swagger comes from relaxed hips, steady rhythm, and comfort being seen. Keep it subtle. Too much becomes performance. Look beyond the crowd. Eyes forward, head not on a swivel. Scanning constantly signals uncertainty and social anxiety. Entering rooms. Pause at the door for a beat. Let yourself be seen. Breathe in, read the room, then move. That pause alone upgrades your presence. Set an intention. Give yourself a micro goal. I'm here to say hi to X, or I'm here to handle this task. Goals create calm purpose. Practice like a skill. Pick a walk model you respect. Study the traits. Then practice for a week. If it feels jerky, slow down until it feels smooth. Morning walk sets state. How you move in the morning becomes the tone of your day. Start your day walking tall and calm. It's a physical decision. 7. High status state control. State is your emotional baseline. State control is the skill of choosing your baseline instead of letting the room choose it for you. State is a muscle. The state you practice becomes your default. If you practice anxiety, anxiety becomes home. If you practice calm confidence, calm becomes home. Non-reactive advantage. When you stop reacting to things you can't control, you become sharper and more rational. People trust the calm person in chaos. Interpretation awareness. Events don't have meaning until you assign it. Train the question, what else could this mean? That breaks the spiral. You can also use that to reframe pretty much any situation, turn it into a positive one. Small wins. Stack small victories. Workout, clean space, one hard task finished. Momentum changes state faster than motivation. Physical anchoring. Your body is a state switch. Posture tall, breathe slow, relax your jaw, soften your eyes, move like someone who just got good news. Thought loops. Use short phrases that are believable. I handle this, I'm focused, I'm steady. Repeat until your nervous system calms down. Physical challenges. Do hard things while staying relaxed. Cold shower, wall sit, long walk. You're training your body to stay calm under stress. Meditation. Meditation trains attention. Sit, breathe, notice drift, return. That's the exact skill you need in conversations and pressure. Health and nutrition. Sweat daily, eat real food, and sleep. The mind can't hold high status if the body is underpowered. Number 8. High status carefreeness. Carefreeness is not laziness. It's outcome independence. It's the vibe of someone who expects good options to exist. Outcome independence. Carefreeness is staying focused on behavior instead of outcome. You want good outcomes, but you don't cling to them. Circle of control. Carefree people focus on what they control. Effort, standards, actions. Worry lives outside of the circle of control. Evaluation bias. If other people's opinions control your mood, you become dependent on them. High status means you evaluate yourself by your own standards. Behavior over outcome. Outcomes are noisy. Behavior is clean. Judge yourself by what you did, not by what happened. Pursued versus pursuer. People chase what's moving forward. When you're genuinely focused on your path, you stop chasing validation, and people feel that. Alluring versus repulsive. Neediness is repulsive because it's easy to obtain. Allure comes from attention plus mystery. You reveal slowly, and you don't overcommunicate. So basically, scarcity is more valuable than what's easy to obtain. Adventurous versus grave-like. Safety obsession makes you rigid and boring. Controlled risk builds confidence. Simply being alive involves risk, so you might as well live boldly. Lean out. When you catch yourself chasing approval, lean out physically and emotionally. Relax, slow down, let them invest. Practical habits. End calls first sometimes. Don't overtext. Avoid social media. Validation loops. Keep options open and your mood steady. Here's an example. Leaning out. If you feel yourself chasing approval, do the opposite. Say less, slow down, relax your posture, and let the other person invest. You stay friendly, but you don't need the outcome. Number 9. High status truth. Truth is a status signal because it shows you don't fear conflict. You don't need approval, and you respect yourself enough to be honest. Truth, that which is. High status truth is the ability to describe reality calmly and directly, without drama, and without hiding. Safety first. Truth lands best when people feel safe. The goal isn't to humiliate, it's to be real while keeping respect intact. Tension is the training ground. Truth creates tension. Low status avoids tension. High status holds steady and speaks anyway. Magnetism of honesty. Truthful people feel refreshing because they're predictable. You always know where you stand with them. A clean opener. Use a calm opener like, "This is a little hard to say, but it matters." Or, "I want to be honest because I respect you." Say it once. Don't overcommunicate. Pick the cleanest sentence that expresses the truth, then stop. Over-explaining turns truth into a negotiation. Reality language practice. Train yourself to describe things literally. Status symbols, expensive objects, drama. It reduces intimidation and increases clarity. Truth plus boundary. If something keeps happening, truth alone isn't enough. Add a boundary. If X continues, I'm going to do Y. Calm enforcement is status. 10. High status rapport control. Rapport is trust in motion. Rapport control is the skill of building trust quickly without becoming needy or fake. Rapport definition. When you're in rapport, people respond. Calls get answered, texts get returned, favors happen, cooperation feels easy. Speed control. Rapport control means you can build trust at the speed you choose. Fast when you want connection, slower when you want to hold authority. Intentions matter. People feel intent. If you walk in negative, judgmental, or outcome obsessed, you create resistance instantly. Clean intent is the hidden hack. Avoid blunt disagreement. If you want influence, don't collide. Use bridging language. I see what you mean. Here's another angle. You can keep connection without surrendering your frame. Wide versus deep rapport. Wide rapport. Lots of topics, light connection. Deep rapport. Personal topics, strong trust. Deep rapport builds loyalty when used responsibly. AAJ. Aims, ambitions, joys. Conversation map. What are they working towards? What do they want? And what makes them light up? When you speak to AAJ, you feel instantly relevant. 4 accelerators. Shared goals, common enemies, shared experiences, and strong emotions bond people quickly. You don't force them, you notice them, and lean into them. Rapport energizers. Energizers jumpstart rapport. Use 1 or 2, then relax. If you stack too many, it looks like you're trying. Ben Franklin effect. Ask for a small favor. People justify their own behavior. If I helped you, it must mean I like you. Keep it respectful and easy. Confessions. A small, honest admission lowers defenses. Not trauma dumping, just enough humanity to feel real. Shared secrets. Sharing a small secret creates a bond because it creates a we. Use ethically. Don't turn it into a gossip addiction. Recognition. Notice something specific, a choice they made, a detail in their story, a skill. Specific recognition beats generic praise. Reciprocity. Give in a way that fits them personally. People remember the feeling of being seen. Mere exposure. Consistent light contact beats one heavy interaction. Familiarity reduces resistance over time, if you're trying too hard. If rapport isn't landing, stop pushing, lean back, use calm body language, slow down, and let silence exist. Desperation kills rapport. Breaking rapport. A small tease or challenge can increase respect if baseline rapport exists. Done from insecurity, it backfires. Use lightly. AAJ prompt. Ask one question that reveals 1. Their aims, 2. Their ambitions, or 3. Their joys. Then listen fully before you respond. The calm pause is part of the status signal. 11. High status charisma. Charisma is emotional leadership. It's the ability to pull attention without begging for it, and to make people feel more alive around you. Certainty in motion. Charisma starts when you look like you know what you're doing. Not because you know everything, but because you move without hesitation. When you speak, your sentences land. When you describe, you decide. People relax around certainty. Decisiveness. Indecision reads like weakness because it signals you don't trust yourself. A charismatic person makes a choice fast, commits, and adjusts later. Even a wrong decision delivered calmly looks better than endless hesitation. Passion. Most people drift. Passion stands out because it has heat. Passion doesn't mean talking fast or being hyper. It means you care. You have a mission, a craft, a goal that pulls you forward, and people can feel that. Warmth plus edge. Pure warmth becomes approval-seeking. Pure edge becomes cold. High-status charisma blends both. Friendly tone with strong standards. You can be kind and still unmovable. Presence. If you're half on your phone and half in the conversation, you read low status. Presence is a rare gift now. Be there. Eyes, body, attention. People feel chosen. Energy regulation. You don't need to be the loudest. You need stable energy. Calm confidence reads higher than jittery excitement. Think controlled spark rather than chaos. Storytelling. Stories create status because they imply experience. Keep them short and visual. Setting, conflict, decision, result, end early. If you over-explain, it turns from charisma into seeking validation. Magnify positivity. Charismatic people have a bias towards what empowers them. They don't let one awkward moment define the night. They reset fast and keep moving forward. Charisma mode drill. 3 times a day, flip charisma mode on for 30 seconds. Posture tall, voice clear, pace slow, eyes steady, Energy up. Do it ordering food, walking in public, or greeting someone. You're teaching your nervous system a new normal. Proof list. Keep a list of real wins and compliments. Not for ego, so you have evidence on low days. Confidence built on evidence is calm and believable. 12. High status style. Style matters, but only when it's supporting the signal. The goal isn't to look expensive, it's to look intentional. One shot at a first impression. People form a story about you instantly. Later evidence gets filtered through that first story. That's why style matters. It sets the frame before you speak. Halo effect. When you look put together, people assume other positives, competence, discipline, intelligence, even trustworthiness. It's unfair, but it's real. Use it. This is also why I wear a suit in every video. Belief perseverance. Once people label you, they resist changing the label. So the goal is to nail the first label. Intentional, competent, high value. Step 1. Capture attention. First, you have to be noticed. Attention doesn't mean being flashy, it means being distinct in a tasteful way. If everyone is dressed average, being sharply fitted immediately stands out. Incongruity. Tasteful contrast. Dress slightly above the room. Not costume, not peacocking. Just enough contrast that you register. Example. In a casual place, clean boots plus fitted jacket. In a business place, a sharper fit and better grooming. Step 2. Signal high status. High status style signals self-respect and standards. Fit, simplicity, and consistency. Loud logos often read like, "I'm trying too hard." Step 3. Be unforgettable. The goal is memorability without clown energy. You want someone to recall you later and feel a clear image. That guy had presence. Fit beats price. A $50 item tailored to fit reads higher than a $500 item that hangs sloppy. Fit is the silent flex. Uniform check. Pick a consistent style identity. When people see you repeatedly with a consistent look, you become a brand. Brands feel high status. Imprint triggers. Have 1 to 3 signature details people can recall after 3 to 4 seconds. A watch, a ring, a specific color palette, a jacket style, a unique but subtle accessory. Not extreme, just memorable. Grooming is non-negotiable. Hair, skin, nails, teeth, scent, posture. Grooming signals discipline more than any brand. A good cologne is a good example as well. Modeling exercise. Pick 2 to 3 high-status models and study what they never wear, what they always wear, and how fitted everything is. Then build a version that matches your life, not theirs. A good example of this is Harvey Specter from Suits. Avoid peacocking. If it looks like you're desperate to be seen, status drops. The highest status look is effortless intent. 13. High status environment. Environment is status by default. Your space, your people, and your routines silently tell others what level you live at. Environment builds or breaks you. Your environment isn't neutral. It either raises your standards or lowers them. Your room, your feed, your friends, your daily inputs, these shape your identity more than motivation does. 3 types of people. Drifters let environments happen by accident. Victims stay in environments that trigger negativity. Leaders deliberately build environments that make them stronger. Interruptions are status poison. Constant pings, gossip, and chaos train a reactive nervous system. A reactive nervous system creates low-status signals. Rushing, fidgeting, emotional swings. This is why I like to avoid things such as the news or media. Ideas versus events versus people. A simple filter. High-status environments discuss ideas and improvements. Low-status environments obsess over drama and other people's lives. If you talk about drama and other people's lives, you're in a low-status environment. You're the average of your associates. Not just the 5 people you see, also the people you text, the content you consume, the voices in your head. If you're mentally hanging out with low-status people all the time, you become that. Hunger value. Stay hungry in a healthy way. Always reaching slightly higher. Complacency dulls your edge. Being around hungry, disciplined people keeps your standards sharp. Environmental exposure. Meeting people and seeing things in person hits harder than reading about them. Put yourself in rooms that expand your sense of what's normal. Sustained exposure. Coaching, events, workshops, masterminds, communities, anything that keeps you repeatedly around higher standards. One event inspires you. Sustained exposure rewires you. Remove crabs. Physical. Make a list of everyone you regularly interact with. Mark who pulls you towards your goals and who pulls you away. Limit exposure to the people who devalue your evolution. Remove crabs mental. Choose a small board of directors whose opinions matter. People you respect for the life you want. Everyone else's judgment becomes background noise. Priming objects. Your space contains primers, objects that trigger emotions and behaviors. Remove items that trigger laziness or negativity. Add items that trigger ambition, calm, and standards. So, some high status people that I know do this by having pictures of cars on the walls or houses, things that they want to own. You can also have a vision board if you're into the law of attraction or manifestation. Home base. Build a home base that restores you. Clean, organized, good lighting, minimal distractions. A strong home base makes you harder to destabilize. Rule discipline. When you make an exception, you often create a new rule. High status is living by standards consistently, not only when it's convenient. Kaizen principle. Small daily improvements compound. Status isn't built in one heroic day. It's built by tiny upgrades every single day until they become identity, so 1% better each day. The 30-day high status reset. If you want this to stick, you need repetition. Here's a simple month-long structure that raises the set point and makes the status signal automatic. Daily non-negotiables. 1. OGSP check. Open, grounded, slow priding. So try to maintain that all the time, as often as you can. 2. No fidget rule. 3. Speak 10% slower. 4. 1 eye contact rep. 5. 1 act of discipline that proves self-respect. Daily voice rep. Read 1 page out loud with a calm tone. Focus on clarity, pauses, and downward inflection at the end of key sentences. Daily state rep. 1 deliberate stress rep. Cold shower, long walk, or hard set in the gym while keeping your face relaxed and breath slow. Week 1. Signals. Focus on body language and walk. Record yourself for 2 minutes daily and remove fidgeting, speed, and nervous laughter. Week 2. Voice plus eyes. Train clarity and tone. Add 5 minutes of focus drills. Practice 1 sentence per day with a firm, final delivery. Week 3. Carefreeness. Detach from outcomes, reduce over-texting, stop over-explaining, and practice leaning out when you feel yourself chasing approval. Week 4. Truth plus standards. Have 1 honest conversation you've been avoiding. Set 1 boundary calmly. Upgrade 1 environment. Desk, lighting, wardrobe, or social circle. 1 final test. Walk into a room, pause, breathe, and move like you belong. The goal is not perfection. The goal is that high status starts to feel normal. Conclusion. High status isn't a vibe you put on. It's the predictable result of living with standards you actually follow. When you stop chasing approval, stop over-explaining, stop reacting to everything, and start moving with calm intent, people feel it immediately. You're harder to shake, harder to manipulate, and easier to respect. The entire game is identity. What you tolerate, what you enforce, and what you repeat until it becomes normal. Keep your signals clean, protect your time, build real proof every week, and let consistency do the talking. If you hold down the line long enough, your old self stops being an option. That's when you become unrecognizable. Hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe.